doesn't matter.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. That's a good one. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, and welcome back to another episode of Off the Bench. Of course, I'm DeMarcus. As you can see, solo dolo this week. My boy Ty had to handle some personal things off camera. So as you can see on my screen with me, I got my good boy Timmy D back with me. Timmy D, say what's up to the people, man.
What's happening? What's going on? It's rough. It's a rough past couple weeks, man.
Yeah, it's been man. Talk to me, man. Tim, what's been going on, man? I know last couple times we talked, man. You've been kind of like your energy just ain't been there, man. So tell me what's going on, man. Why you so down?
Man,
yeah,
bro. They just the things just don't do the things that they used to do anymore. You know, they just don't compete like they used to.
Okay. All right.
So it's painful. It hurts.
Yeah.
And I guess we're gonna get into it, but
man. We and the beauty of today's episode, man. It's like 75% of the topic today. So we just gonna let we're gonna let the people let us know in the comments below, and let us know as they watch back this episode what they thought about today's topic, and what they feel, and if they are fans of these teams, how does it feel, man, to be in this place again?
We have to say again like that, bro.
I mean, once again.
You could have said again in a different type of tone. You was really aggressive with that again, bro.
Honestly, I think now it's getting to a point now where it's like it's some type of personal vendetta against the fans. I think
I think so too.
With these outcomes, it's got to be. There's someone saying that we don't care about the fans. So
there's no way they can. It's physically impossible.
So what I want to do before we get started in today's conversation, so y'all understand what we're talking about. I know we're talking in code a little bit, but like always, before we get this episode started, make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment down below, follow us on all of our other social media platforms, because you are helping the platform move in ways you cannot imagine. And again, like we said before in our last episodes, make sure you stay tuned for the merch. As you can see, I got the hat on today. Stay tuned for more merch coming out, store coming soon. So y'all stay tuned to that too as well. But today, first topic we want to get into, man, we're going to talk about the biggest disappointment this season in the NFL. We got two teams in mind. First team is Dallas Cowboys, or is it the Philadelphia Eagles? So, Tim, I'm going to let you get us started. So who do you think is the biggest disappointment in the NFL this year?
This is gonna sound kind of corny.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say they both equal disappointment levels. Here's why. Because we have Philadelphia, who just went to the Super Bowl. Yep. You know what I'm saying? The only difference in between them and the Cowboys is that the fact of, like, in the last 6 weeks, they dropped 5 of the last 6. Mm-hmm. So the cushion was a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? It was a little bit more there for the Philadelphia fans from when they lost to the Buccaneers. You know what I'm saying? As far as the Cowboys, we didn't take it too high. You know what I'm saying? And
I had a couple of Dallas fans I was like on suicide watch for, man. I had to make some phone calls and like really check in on people, because I can tell it was hurting, man. They was in a bad place,
Yeah, because I mean, it's like, so me as a Dallas Cowboy fan, I feel like I'm a football fan first. So I didn't think that we were going to win the Super Bowl, right? I'm not one of those fans.
Nah, you was one of the few. You was one of the few that was more of a realist. Like, hey, man, if we play right, we have a chance to make it. Yeah, I'm just not coming out saying we're Super Bowl champs before we even get to the game.
Yeah, like I thought like our biggest opponent, our biggest foe was either going to be Detroit or it was going to be the 49ers, right?
Yeah.
If we would have won and the way it would have played out, I would like maybe the Lions could knock off the 49ers because they would have ended up playing them, and we get rid of the Bucks. And then the Lions in Dallas, I was like, cool. Then we have 3. Man,
But when Jordan Love came to town,
But listen, no disrespect to Jordan Love. No
yeah,
disrespect to Jordan Love, because what
okay,
he did is
yeah,
amazing for his first playoff run.
mhm.
But their scheme was just
Yeah,
completely amazing. Like,
yeah, yeah,
bro, there was people, bro, Jordan Love, like if you look back and go look at the tape, there's probably like
yeah,
only maybe 3 to 5 throws where Jordan Love had to like put the money on the ball. All the other
yeah,
times he just like,
yeah, yeah.
and these
Side
boys
on 1 foot throws. I mean,
and,
people
and
and the guys were just wide open. Like
why,
no one within 5. I mean, I saw Tim. I don't know how many times in that game where the camera. I've never really seen this in a playoff game
mm-hmm,
where the cameraman had to expand the camera lens so you can see
out
the
wide open.
like how bad it was, how wide open these guys were from the next defender on the field. Because it was
Bro,
looking like there is no one within 10 miles of him, and there really wasn't nobody within 10 miles of them. Every single
bro,
time Jordan Love was throwing dimes.
I was sitting there looking like, bro, there was this one pass to the tight end. I want to say
Mhm.
Kraft or Musgrave, one of them.
Yeah, yep. It's on the one when he fell down. When he fell down and got up and was able to still run in the end zone, and there was still nobody within 10 yards of him.
Bro, what I'm like, and I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
like, I'm like,
yeah,
Dan Quinn, bro, what are you doing
yeah,
this week? Because,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
there's absolutely no, bro fell down, bro.
yeah,
Like, and that's what I'm just like, all right, bro. Like,
yeah,
yeah, you could blame some of the stuff on Dak. And I know, like,
yeah,
a lot of the stuff he got was garbage time or
yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
You
Of
could
course,
blame some on
and it was a lot of and that's one thing I don't like, in those type of moments where because even though, yeah, I see you're trying to score and trying to make the score look better, but it just looks like you're stat chasing more
mm-hmm.
than actually trying to make the score better when there's no chance of making the score look any better because everybody's going to know that game was not a 1 touchdown game. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? That game was literally 3-4 touchdowns distance the whole entire game from the
yeah.
first drive of Green Bay. You could tell the way Aaron Jones was running the ball. And me and you have talked about this all season long. Y'all struggle with teams that have solid offensive lines and a good running back because y'all play too small. I don't know why Dan Quinn loves to play so small around the ball when you got a team that loves to run the ball.
Because he's a speed guy.
Yeah,
So like everybody on our defense runs a 4 or 5 or sub pretty much.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
that's what it is. But this week he did this also against the Dolphins where he played zone or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot and never went to like man. And I'm just like,
Yeah,
bro, like we're getting murdered in the zone. Like these
yeah,
boys ain't
yeah,
played zone all year.
yeah,
These people
yeah,
are open.
yeah. Yeah, because like
So
you say, your boy, who was your boy? Bland, most interceptions in the league. Top in the league in
yeah,
interceptions, and then of course all those pick sixes. Like the last few weeks, man, you didn't hear his name being called
no,
because y'all started playing defenses totally different. And in that wild card game, y'all played a defense that, like you said, you never played all season. So it made sense why guys were just completely lost. You have
completely.
They had Micah playing all over the place in every position he was in. He was in the wrong spot, taking bad angles on tackles. The hole was getting blown open because of the simple fact of there's nobody in the gap where they're supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be because y'all started playing. And then, yeah, I mean, it just all around, man. And as a football fan, not even a Cowboy fan or
Yeah.
anything, it's very frustrating to watch a team play 17 weeks of football and then come into a playoff game, a home game to be that, and just look so unprepared. Like
Like,
they didn't look like they was prepared to play against Green Bay one bit. And you could tell Green Bay knew exactly what to do against y'all every step of the way.
well, see, the thing where I was really like, I knew it was going to be bad, right? You
Yeah.
have the media hyping up the Cowboys. Yeah, the Cowboys, they're
Mm-hmm.
perfect to go to the NFC Championship, bro. You have the
Mm-hmm.
players
Mm-hmm.
already thinking NFC Championship game. They're
Mm-hmm.
not thinking about the 2 games before that. So you
Mm-hmm.
have this mindset that you just like that you feel like you're owed this
Yeah.
position, and
Yeah.
Green Bay had nothing to lose. Those are
They
the
had
most
nothing to lose.
those are the
Yep.
most
Them the
people to
ones-
fear. Most teams to
Yep.
fear. I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm not even supposed to be here.
Yep. So if
You know
I
what
if
I
I
mean?
beat you, If I beat you, I win. If I lose to you, I was supposed to lose to
I
you.
was supposed to lose.
I can go out here and play loose. I can play free. I can play mistakeless football because I know that if I make a mistake, everybody assuming I'm supposed to anyway. So I can go out here and I can play with no, basically what they call no holds bar when I ain't got to hold nothing back on what we do today. The playbook is open. I ain't got to hide no plays. I'm throwing everything. I'm trying everything because, like I say, we not supposed to be here.
And you see how they played against San Fran last night.
Same thing. Yep.
We have nothing to lose.
Yep.
Brock Purdy out there looking like the last pick he was.
Yeah. Because Green Bay, in my opinion, Green Bay lost that game. San Francisco didn't win that game.
Facts.
Green Bay lost that game because if Green Bay makes those 2 field goals,
that's it.
But it don't miss those 2 field goals, the game's over. That touchdown don't mean anything at the end. They still down 3 with a minute left, and Green Bay gets the ball back. So that's why I say with teams like that, it makes it scary because you have a team like San Fran where you've been off 20 days. That's a lot of time for a young quarterback. That can be detrimental, and it showed its face last night. When you're watching the game, you're seeing Brock just look unprepared for what Green Bay, because the scheme they was running at him on defense, he wasn't able to figure it out. Thank the gods that they have one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Yeah. That's what I'm
without
saying.
Him, without CC,
if they would have played the Lions, they would have lost because the Lions defense is better than Green Bay. So a lot of the stuff a lot of those drop picks, because you see Darnell Savage.
Oh yeah. They had two. They had 2 drops. They had 2 drops
to the crib.
Yeah,
that was
they had 2 drops.
Going to the house.
Yeah, they had 2 drops. 100%.
Yeah. CJ Gardner-Johnson, he not dropping it.
Yeah.
And he's going to the cribbo. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. I'll put like this: 49ers look that we lost. Because if not, they'll be at the home, they'll be at the crib too.
Yeah. No, I think just to kind of come back to the question and answer the question from my perspective, I truly believe, Philadelphia, of course, coming off a Super Bowl and then starting 10-1 and then having this collapse that they did the second half of the season was, no one could see that coming. So I wouldn't so much put them as a disappointment in the season because of that. I would just say they had a terrible second half of the season.
We did see it coming. They wasn't playing good all year. They just so happened to win.
And that's what I was about to get to too. Now, with that being said, they had a bad second half, but from game 1, they wasn't playing solid football on both sides of the football. Defensively, they were lacking from the game, first game, and then from the offensively, you just can tell like the chemistry, something wasn't right with the offense. Jalen Hurts, I think, took a step back this year with his play. And I don't want to say it's the money, because I don't like to put that on guys, because I believe every guy has a right to get his money when his market is high as it is at that time. He deserves to get his money. So I'm not going to say because of the money he took a step back, but just his overall play took a huge step back at the wrong time. And I watched so many videos online point out, how he didn't impact any game this year, from game 1 to game, 18. And I have to agree with that. He didn't really have any impact like he did last season. Last season, Jalen impacted you, whether it was his ability to, throw the deep ball, or his ability to read the defenses, or his ability to get outside the pocket and make stuff happen with his legs. Now, also too, I know he played most of the season hurt, but at the same time, everybody's out there is hurt. Everybody's dealing with something.
I'm gonna say this. All I'm gonna say is I think Jalen Hurts proved to the world who he actually is, because last year was an anomaly year. The year before that, he had a full season. He didn't really do good. The year before that, he backed up. He came in when Carson Wentz got hurt. I believe came in when Carson Wentz got hurt, and he played, and he wasn't that good or whatnot. Yeah. So you have the anomaly year where you get everybody. Like that was the Super Bowl year for them, because they had everybody on defense. They had the coordinators that they needed.
Yeah,
They had everybody
and
gelling
offensively they were clicking with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith and
yeah,
what's his name, Gobert or whatever his name is, the tight end.
Goddard, Dallas
Yeah,
Goddard.
Gobbert. Yeah, you had him. He was balling, and then running wise, they had Miles Sanders. He was
Mhm,
balling. So I mean, then of course the offensive line was the best with Jason
mhm.
Kelsey at the helm, the best offensive line in football. So yeah, everything was in line for them to win last year, and they dropped. They didn't. So
Excuse me.
Come back this year. They had new coordinator.
Mhm.
Similar offense similar. Of course, you change Swift for Miles Sanders, so that changed. But to me, that ain't no drop off in running back because
Nah,
Swift is just as good as Miles.
it's not better.
Um, it's not, if not better. Now I will say I feel like Miles Sanders was a better out of the backfield receiver for the
Yeah,
team than Swift is, but Swift in between the tackles, and running that ball, he totes it, like one of the best running backs in the league. So I
and
say I think that's a wash when it comes to those two swaps. And
I
then
would
like I
say
say
this
you
though. My bad for interrupting. I would say
yeah, you
this
good.
that the defensive coordinator that they got rid of
Yeah.
was a major part, but I don't really feel like it was too far of a drop off because you have Matt Patricia. Matt
Yeah,
Patricia
yeah.
is responsible for all those top 10 defenses that the Patriots won with in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
No,
like
yeah,
I don't feel like
he got a pedigree, a defensive pedigree. So yeah, you're
yeah.
right.
And you lose CJ Gardner Johnson and your linebackers. I mean,
Yeah,
that's it. But
yeah,
you gain probably one of the best rookies pass rushers and
yeah.
Jalen Carter or
Yep.
whatnot. I don't feel like the defense should have dropped off as bad as it did.
As it did. Yeah, yeah. So
So that
I
was
think I think a little bit of it, like I say, I think on both sides, I think leadership just lacked this year on
mm,
both sides. Because you can just tell watching them on the sideline, they weren't very receptive to each other's criticism like they
yeah,
were the season before. It always felt like nobody can, say something to the other person to get them to play better. And then
yeah.
of course, all the press conferences, you could just tell there was a divide in the locker room for whatever reason it was. Um, and you started to see it wear on Jalen Hurts too in the season. When he started, you could tell his answer started to come out as, a little bit different than it was, the beginning of the season. And then of course, all of last year, you could tell he was starting to get frustrated, which you understand, man. Like I said,
Yeah,
when
go
you
for it.
know, yeah, when Super Bowl was last year and you was one play away from winning it all, and then you bring it back 95% of the people that
Mhm.
were there the season before to try to run it back to actually win it this year, and then it falls apart like it did, and you don't have real solid answers on why it happened, it can be frustrating. So I can understand that point of view.
Do
Now
you
let's
think
get to the go ahead.
real quick question, do you think that people started to feel that when they left? Because CJ Gardner Johnson left
Mm-hmm.
knowing that that the Eagles was pretty much gonna pay him the same thing that Detroit was gonna pay him.
Yeah. And that could be too. Some guys saw that coming on the horizon, that there was some inner team beef brewing, and they saw the writing on the wall and like, man, I got to get out of here before it becomes what we saw it turn into. So I
True.
think that could be a part of it too. Cause just like me, you, and everybody else in media, we don't have the luxury of being in the locker room with these
Right.
guys. We just go off of what we see on the field and what we see in little moments of time that we try to you know put it together the best way we can to get
Mhm.
the most solid rational
Piece
answer
together.
we can come up with. Yeah. So but when these guys are leaving teams like you say that could have got the same money at that team, but they left to go play for another team, and you see the difference. You see how he's on a team now that's still playing,
Yep.
and you see the wave that's coming with Detroit. And then you look at what happened with Philly. It makes a whole lot of sense why some guys, get out of Dodge because they don't want to deal with that moving forward in their career because they know how detrimental it can be. But
Yep.
moving to the Cowboys, man, I truly, I know I get on to you and I get on to a lot of Cowboy fans out there, and give y'all a hard time in talking about the falls coming and this is normal for what we're seeing. But I have to be honest with you, this year frustrated me the most with Dallas because of more so Dak Prescott.
Mhm.
Because I'm looking at an 8-year starter
Mhm.
versus a 1-year rookie starter in the playoffs. And I literally felt like, Tim, in this game, he played so tight, so just, you know, I don't ever want to say professional athletes scared, because I think that's disrespectful to who they are in their profession. But he played like he was not supposed to be there.
I'm gonna put it. They thought that they won. They thought that the game was over. They thought the stage was set.
Yeah.
They thought the NFL script has been written
for them to make it to the Super Bowl. We undefeated at home. We got home field advantage all the way through the playoffs. We going up against a team that just scraped into the playoffs. We got all these. I think I had 9 Pro Bowlers on defense. Everything set. Media wise for y'all to be the Super Bowl favorites. Yeah.
And I think they just took them boys lightly or whatnot. And the whole thing between him and CD. I feel like I've been watching and I still don't know
what the problem, what the issue is. But that's been going on. But that, if you notice though, Tim, that has been an issue the entire season. It reared its ugly head even more in this playoff game because of how the game started, of course. Having Mike McCarthy over there kind of talking to CeeDee Lamb on the bench, and you could tell CeeDee Lamb just like, man, I'm over all of this, and then that's when you saw Dak start pressing and start forcing the ball to him versus saying, hey man, CeeDee, look, bro, we're gonna get you going, but I gotta move the ball around. I gotta read the defense the right way. I gotta make the right decision with the ball. I can't just force it to you. Because when he started forcing it, that's when Green Bay really started taking off. And that's my biggest issue that I have with Dak, is that he does not play well from behind. When he has to carry the load of making the right reads and making the right passes, he hasn't figured that part out. So it makes me wonder, is Dak the quarterback for the future for y'all?
Well, he's gonna have to be, because they finna extend him. They about to extend him. Mike McCarthy's re-signed. So rather we believe it or not, them boys over there in Arlington, Texas, because I'm from Dallas. They ain't from Dallas. Some boys from until next year, we going to they from Arlington. Them boys over there in Arlington, them boys think so. But to be honest, I think this one's tough. That's a tough question, bro. I think,
because my whole thing with it is if you get rid of Dak, because like I said, we know Dak is a phenomenal regular season quarterback, but to be quote unquote Americans team and be a team that is favorites going into seasons every year, just being a regular season champ or being a regular season quarterback isn't enough for you to win Super Bowls. That's not enough anymore. And if you get rid of him, who do you bring in that can just come in from the first snap and put you in the place that you really want to be in? Because there's not a lot of quarterbacks out there that can do that aren't already on the team that has locked them up and not letting them go nowhere.
I think he's gonna be the quarterback of the future. Just because of that one, because of what you just said. Because who you gonna replace him with? I mean, you have Trey Lance. In the QB room, we're probably gonna get rid of Cooper Rush this year, so he'll probably be second string. But I mean, like you said, who you gonna we don't have the number 1 pick, so we can't go out there and get Caleb. You know what I'm saying? So who are you gonna choose?
I think that's a tough part too, because I mean, if you get rid of him, do you really let Trey Lance, who haven't really shown you anything with playing with showing you anything besides of what the tape has shown you with San Francisco now? I say when San Francisco, it's a different scheme, different players, different offensive line. So of course he's gonna look a lot better because you see how Brock looks. I don't know if he looks the same way with y'all, given what y'all have versus what San Francisco have. So it puts y'all in a tough spot, and he just gotta play better, man. And that's just what it boils down to. Because at the end of the day, like I say, it doesn't matter. I tell a lot of people, it does not matter what you do in the regular season. Once you make the playoffs, all that gets washed away. Everybody's 0-0. What are you doing in the moments that matter the most? And he has shown in the last 8 years the inability, to do the job. Like I say, he's Tony Romo. That's just there's no hate in that remark, and ain't no hate, but he is Tony Romo.
I would say this though. I would say he's not Tony Romo. Here's why. I think Tony Romo was better.
Okay.
Crucify me if you will.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. I mean, hey, on this podcast, bro, we accept all opinions. We not
crucify me if you will. I think he's better because Tony Romo could bring you back, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times, and we could see this from the way that he calls games, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times, I think the Cowboys front office, the Cowboys coaching is making these quarterbacks throw these certain plays.
Yeah.
And I don't think that the quarterback, think that the quarterback has enough free will in the Dallas Cowboys to do what he wants to do. To be the quarterback that the Dallas Cowboys need. And here's why. Because the only time that we had that quarterback in Troy Aikman, we had Jimmy Johnson.
Yep, you did.
Jimmy Johnson wasn't listening to Jerry Jones, hence the whole thing.
Yeah, he had that Bill Belichick attitude where it's like, hey man, you just run the team. You run the organization, I'll run the team. Yeah.
And so since then, when we had Troy Aikman who can throw it to whoever he wanted to, you know what I'm saying, have that free will, every quarterback has looked strict and but they're not gonna come out and say it because once you're a Dallas Cowboys quarterback, all this extra money that you're getting just because you're the quarterback is crazy.
It's crazy.
So, you know what I'm saying? Tony and they're putting in positions. Tony Romo's putting in position to make, but that's beyond. But so I think Tony Romo is better because a lot of some of those passes that I did see that he like a lot of those. Oh man, here goes Tony Romo throwing another interception. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those why are you throwing it there? Of all places,
similar to Jordan Love last night. That last interception, by God,
why?
Why? Like you had the first, of course, you had a defender chasing down on you, but you could have easily ran to the sideline, got you 2 or 3 yards, lived to play another down,
or throw the ball away.
Throw the ball away. You just chuck the ball across your body, which is the worst pass to ever do in football. Listen to me, anybody out there listening. From little league to middle school, high school, college, the worst pass as a quarterback is a cross the body throw because for one, your body's going one way, so your accuracy is getting thrown off. You're off balance, and the arm strength that you got to have to be able to throw that ball on a dime is bar none out there. And then he throw it to a receiver who has 3 red jerseys around him. So even if he would have got his hands on it, he wasn't gonna catch it because he got 3 people on him. So it's just like, don't, and that was one of those moments, like you just said, like, why throw that pass?
Yeah. So, and so I'm just like, all right, cool. And I'm starting to see it because then you starting to hear these stories about what Dez Bryant was saying about front office and stuff. So you start hearing these stories and you just this all makes sense. You know what I mean? But
they boxing them in to the point where it's like, hey, stay in this box and don't go outside of it. If you go outside of it, it's going to be a problem.
Facts.
It has to be because, like you say, do I believe Dak Prescott is a good quarterback? Absolutely. But with Dallas, you can tell he plays under some form of restriction that no other quarterback you see. I mean, even if you go to the Washington Commanders, you watch these young quarterbacks out there running around for their life. And they're able to make different decisions that you see Dak. Dak don't. You could tell his decision is not his own. Like we were just talking about earlier with him forcing the ball to CeeDee Lamb. You knew it was coming when you saw Mike McCarthy talking to CeeDee Lamb. You knew the next 10 passes is gonna be forced to CeeDee Lamb.
And you seen it coming in bro. That was crazy. And I mean, if people give and so. Excuse me, I'm all over the place right now. And that's why when we talk about Mike McCarthy, when I was like, he needs to leave and we need a young coach or whatnot. We need that. I wanted Antonio Pierce.
Okay. Yeah.
Bring me a bully.
I figured I had said to myself that the Las Vegas Raiders will be dumb if they let Antonio Pierce lead that building. And I was excited to see that they re-signed him because he galvanized that crew and you saw that team play a totally different form of football when he became the head coach. But like you said, you need somebody that's of the younger tree or the willing to take risk type tree, the the McVay camp,
Mike Vrabel,
the Shanahan crew, like those type of guys that have this innovative style of play that you're seeing that's winning football games now. That's what you got to have on your sideline if you want to really compete, with the better teams in the NFL. Yeah. I agree with that. So, and speaking of Jimmy Johnson, I know you just brought him up a few seconds ago. Man, were you worried for Jimmy, man, at halftime? I thought Jimmy was gonna have a heart attack, man.
Well, he all Cowboys now that he in Ring of Honor.
Oh, of course, yeah. You get a jacket.
Before he was in the Ring of Honor, he wasn't going this hard about Dallas, man. Come on, man.
I told my other homeboy that's a Cowboy fan. I said, hey, man. He said, man, you see Jimmy? I said, bro, that was the most scripted reaction I've ever seen to a football team that you never really loved anyway.
You didn't.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't really like him, or like I say, all season long. You never heard him have that type of heartburn for y'all play when y'all lost to Arizona. You didn't hear Jimmy go off like that. But as soon as he get that blue jacket, now it's how about them Cowboys again? So, so when I saw that whole reaction, I'm like, dang, Jimmy, you just made a good meme for a lot of people. Because
it was crazy.
I couldn't believe, for one, I couldn't believe that he even reacted that way. And two, I was like, damn, Jimmy got to calm down. Like, he ain't out there on the field playing.
But I mean, listen, I understand that you feel it was scripted, and I understand, but I say somebody in that locker room needed that. Because
they need that type of talk. They need that type of talk. That's why I say some of the stuff he did say, it's like, yeah, Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, somebody in the locker room, Dak, somebody in the locker room should have been talking that way in the locker room because they came back out flat and played the same way they did in the first half.
Last thing I want to say about these men with the stars on their helmet.
And then we're gonna move on.
Dan Quinn quit on us, man. Dan Quinn got the head coaching.
He got the head coaching. Hayes. Okay.
Yeah, he quit on us because ain't no way, bro. Our defense.
That's strong. Tim, that's strong.
So he did. He did, bro. 27 points in the first half.
Yeah.
In the first half, bro.
Yeah.
And we not talking. He's not hard-earned points, bro. We couldn't stop him. These boys could not be stopped. We could. Yeah. Well, he punted one time.
Yeah. I want to say they only had one punt for the whole game, and I think that one punt was their own fault. It wasn't even nothing y'all did. I think they dropped the ball, and he was like wide open. He dropped the pass, and then y'all had to punt. But it wasn't nothing that y'all did to cause the punt.
Bro, it was like watching Little League, bro. Like, you know how like Little League, them boys be like wide open.
Yeah,
wide open for no reason. It's how like.
Yeah.
And I ain't never seen no scheme like it. I ain't never seen no boy come.
Yeah, it was
consistent basics.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, it was just basics of defense. They just weren't, and you saw a lot of finger pointing on defense because you could tell guys were lost on where they were supposed to be, what zone they were supposed to be covering. Because, like you said, y'all not a zone team, and for whatever reason, he went zone thinking that was going to be the best outcome for y'all. When you know this team's going to run the ball to try to protect Jordan Love from making a lot of throws. And then once the run game opened up, then the pass game just became even easier for him because now y'all was so focused on the run. And I didn't understand it either, man. Like I said, once again, Cowboys came into a playoff game just unprepared. But you know who I blame that on? I blame that on Mike McCarthy because it's your job to get everybody that is in position that runs your defense, runs your special teams, who's your, all that stuff. You need to make sure that y'all are on the same page on what trying to scheme you're going to run against. That's going to be the most effective against this rookie quarterback based off what you've seen. Because you got to think, look at what he did the last 8-9 games of the season, 20-some touchdowns and 1 interception. So, he's slinging the ball around the field. So, and what's y'all best attribute? Man to man. So guess what we got to do? We're going to man these boys up and they're just going to have to beat us fair and square. And that's how they should have played them versus, oh, no, let's just zone up and give him time to throw the ball.
And the crazy thing is, this is why Green Bay fired him. They fired him from Matt LaFleur, and Matt LaFleur came in and showed him, this is why you're not for Green Bay no more. This is it.
Yeah, that's true. So staying on Mike McCarthy, man. I don't know if you caught his comments that he had for his press conference recently, and when I read the thread, and then of course I watched the actual video back, man, I'm starting to think the man might be a little delusional, man, because for him to come out and say this is a championship, environment, we're a Super Bowl team, and we just haven't won a playoff game. That's an oxymoron to me. It's like, well, you're not a Super Bowl team because you're not getting to Super Bowls, and you're barely a playoff team because you're getting to the first or second round and then you're done. So I think you need to go back to the whiteboard and figure out what type of team y'all are, like truly are, and try to become the best within that versus trying to, check these boxes that other teams are checking when you're really not built to be that team.
I think I think what happens is, and it's our fault as media, right? We build, like, for some odd reason, the Dallas Cowboys on paper, when you look at
they paper champs.
Names, when you look at the names, they're supposed to be a Super Bowl team, right?
Yeah.
Bro, just because they're names don't mean that these people are that good. Like, we gotta call a spade a spade. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, you know what I'm saying? And I was a major DeRon Bland fan, right? DeRon Bland is bro, he got the most picks, but like y'all kept telling me, go back and look at the picks. These picks was quarterbacks making bad throws. Like, this
throws, It wasn't him actually in position, cover, strong coverage and actually reading the play. It's just, hey, the quarterback just throwing a bad ball because of the pressure from Micah Parsons and DeMarcus and all these other guys up front for y'all that was causing the bad decisions, which was putting him in place to get, the interception versus, oh no, he out there actually seatbelting, strapping people up and getting interceptions. You know what I'm saying? That's a big difference. That's a big difference.
Had a career game against him.
DK
Metcalf, career game. Career game. And it was like, all right, bro, this is enough. Gilmore, go get that, man.
Yeah. He had, I think, 12 for like 150 or something like that.
And 3 tutties.
Yeah, and 3 tutties. Yeah.
And talking sign language to us. Talking about standing on business.
Yeah.
Like, no, bro. No. Like, you're not in. And so after that game, why we didn't hear from him? Let me tell you why we didn't hear from him. Because Gilmore was guarding all the heavy loads.
Oh, the heavy hitters. Yeah, he was after that. Yeah.
Gilmore,
because he was guarding, Devontae Smith. The second time y'all played him, like, he was guarding all the heavy hitters because you can't put him on him. He's too small and he's not able. He don't know enough in the league, ain't been in the league long enough to be able to guard these caliber players. And that's what it showed. And I think and that could be the reason why Dan Quinn was worried about man to man, because he didn't trust the fact that everybody can guard like Gilmore can. You know what I'm saying?
Green Bay has some nice receivers, man. But it ain't nothing that we ain't already been up against.
No, I agree.
We held Miami to 22, I believe.
Yeah. And Miami, no more offense in the NFL.
So
scoring wise, yeah.
So I mean, but I think what it is people get the names on the papers that we have and be like, all right, this is the team. You know what I'm saying? And then you get week 7 after we play San Fran to week 18, and you see how Dak and CD is playing, and you're like, oh, they can't be stopped. You know what I'm saying? Week 1 through 5, week 1 through 6, y'all was saying like CD is not even the number one receiver.
Not even number one. Yep.
So it's just like you get the names and they get glorified, and so all of a sudden we're a Super Bowl team. But I mean, we're not a team. That's what I'll sit here and say. You got a bunch of good individuals, but you've yet to put those individuals in an environment on the right team to where you can tell that the play is coming together so well at the right time to where it's going to catapult you to the Super Bowl. Like you see with, KC, you see they're playing, you could see they're playing together right. And now look where they're at. They're 2 games out from the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Houston. Houston played right. They just ran into Baltimore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which, like I say, sticking on that game there, which I was gonna go roll into. I was very impressed because I was ready to come on here and really, let Lamar Jackson, put him out there as, hey man, he in that same boat as Dak if he'd have lost that game. But he came out and that second half, you could tell he started to understand what Houston was giving him, and he just took advantage of all those opportunities. And clear cut, he's the MVP this season. I think that game really stamped that for sure, with the way they took control of that game against Houston. Like I say, but that's just one game. We need to see more because still got a losing record in the playoffs right now. And all the individual accolades are nice, but if you're gonna do all the regular season stuff, be regular season champs and regular season this and that, but then get to the playoffs and still be the Lamar Jackson we know you to be in the playoffs, then to me you kind of bump yourself out of that top tier conversation. Because I'm the same way with Lamar this year and Josh Allen. This is the season, and I'll ask you this question because that's on our notes. Who has more pressure on them this year to perform to get their team to the Super Bowl? Would you say Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson?
Lamar.
Yeah.
Lamar, and the reason why is because they're the number one seed.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They beat the brakes off the 49ers. They beat the brakes off they beat the brakes off of teams.
Off all the top teams, yeah. Every top
NFC,
team they destroyed.
NFC teams that they were like, these are the teams to beat. Because at the time they played Detroit and beat the brakes off of them, Detroit was like, that was a team. The 49ers just came back and beat Philly. So we're like, dang, what we gonna see? Came back and beat the dog's snot out of them, right? So like, you're the most important. I mean, we know Josh Allen. We know he's gonna turn the ball over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we know this.
And we also know that he got to go up against his nemesis, which is Pat Mahomes, which, like I was talking to Ty, me and him on the last episode, he was like, man, we got to see about Pat Mahomes. I said, wait a minute, you don't trust Pat Mahomes in the playoffs? He said he's never had to do it on the road. I'm like, well, wait a minute, do you think Pat Mahomes is going to come up small on the road because he don't have home field? He said, yeah, man, you don't know. You just got to wait and see what he's going to do. And, man, like I say, Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL.
I don't even think
I highly doubt. Huh?
I don't think it's Pat Mahomes. It's everybody else. It's his receivers. They got to catch the ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said his play is not going to fall off. So him being on the road, him being at home, it ain't going to matter to him. It's what Travis Kelce going to do. Is he going to catch the ball?
Yeah.
Or is this Taylor Swift effect going to continue to, mess his play up? Yeah. And then they said all the other young guys, defense is rolling. Defense playing lights out right now. So, like I said, Josh Allen got to worry about his nemesis across the field from him, because like I say, right now that's who's stopping him from getting to that next level. And every quarterback has had that type of nemesis.
And I think outside of no, that was Baltimore who lost to Tennessee. Yeah, every time the Bills went up and was in the playoffs, they lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah, every single time.
I think that one year they lost to Bengals when the Bengals went to the Super Bowl. Or maybe
because the Bengals beat the Chiefs. Yeah. To get to Buffalo. Yeah.
Okay, so like that was it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I mean, he's not losing to bad quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, Lamar Jackson lost to Tannehill, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll be like, yeah.
And his play in the postseason is piss poor. Barely throwing for 150 yards, QBRs around 60, 68. You know what I'm saying? Like it's showing the worst play at the worst time is coming up in the biggest moments. So like I say, for him to do what he did against Houston, that was good. But like I say, I got to see more. We all got to see more to really say, okay, Lamar Jackson has taken that next step in the tier bump when it comes to great quarterbacks in the league, because he is a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but like I say, you only can be great in the regular season for so long until it's going like, all right, man, come on. You got this team, especially this year. There's no excuse. He got the receivers. They say he never had receivers. He got them. Say he never had a running back. He got running backs. They say the defense apart. They got a phenomenal defense this year. There ain't no excuse for to go out and perform and put them boys in the Super Bowl and have a chance to really win the Super Bowl. Because right now, looking at 49ers and looking at the Baltimore Ravens, everybody would say Baltimore Ravens look like the favorite right now in the entire NFL.
Just because of what they did to them.
Yeah. Exactly.
What would you?
So
What
that's why
would
I
you
say
say?
I would
Would
say
you be mad if I said that like Lamar Jackson never really throws the ball over 250? Like that's his game.
no,
Like
no, 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 no. You're not lying. You wouldn't be wrong in that regards because, like I said, looking at the numbers, that's just not his game. It's not his game.
yeah,
It's even in college when he's with Louisville. It's not his game to throw the ball for 300-400 yards. It's not his game. He gonna throw for 250, and he gonna run for 100, 150. That's gonna be his 400 yard game. It's gonna
and
be
so
total scrimmage yards.
and so like because when you get those like the 4 touchdown, the 5 touchdown games, those are like
Yeah,
anomalies. Those are not things that
yeah, yeah,
we see
yeah.
from
You don't
Lamar
look for.
Jackson all the time. Like
Yeah,
we see him
yeah,
throwing a 1 touchdown game a lot.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because he's either running for the other one or they get to the 1 yard line and they're handing off the
yeah.
ball. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or like I said, if it's some, jump ball situation within the
yeah,
5 yard line or something like that, he throw it up to his big tight end likely. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's never, I never look for him to be a 400 yard passing game and have 4 tutties and have, 1 rushing touchdown. No, that's more of a Josh Allen type game where
like
Josh Allen will throw for 400 yards, have 4 tutties, probably have 3 interceptions.
mhm.
Most likely gonna have 3 interceptions, and then of course gonna run for maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns.
Likely and Andrews is a tough tight end.
Yeah, yeah, and Andrew's supposed to be back for the next game, so it'd be interesting to see how they implement him with Likely, because Likely's been balling in his absence. So to keep Likely going, you bring Andrews in. That's gonna be a tough matchup for the teams that gonna deal with them. But like I said, we'll get ready to see what Detroit does because they got a tough one against Tampa. I know that Detroit arena's gonna be that stadium's gonna be
They gonna be
rocking.
tough.
It's gonna be jumping. I saw the average tickets for that game was $1,200. Rightfully so. I mean, it's a lot of energy going on behind Dan Campbell and what them boys doing over there, Jared Golf, and all they doing over there with Detroit. I'm happy to see it because Detroit being good is good for NFL.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that they're making the right strides in the right direction. Now, will
You
they
think it's gonna be a
when they
tough
make
game
this?
though?
Huh?
You think it's gonna be a tough game?
I think Baker's going. I've liked what I've seen from Baker. I think Baker Mayfield has really transitioned into the quarterback that he could always be. He just been on bad teams and bad situations
He
that haven't
scored 9
allowed him to
points
be.
against
But I
Carolina.
think, huh?
He scored 9 points against Carolina. I know what they did to Philly, but Philly was already crashing.
Yeah,
9 points against Carolina though.
yeah. That's true. Well, like I say, and a lot of that I think is going to be the defense that's going to keep him in the game if they can. And then of course, as long as Baker, if he don't make mistakes, now of course he's not going to blow you away. Like we just talked about Lamar, he's not going to blow you away with his stats. He's not going to throw 400 yards and 5 TDs, but he can manage the game enough to not throw it away. And that's what he did with Philly, and that's of course with the ugly game against Carolina. Of course, that's you don't want to see that,
Yeah.
but I just don't see him coming in. He's not the turnover machine he used to be. So I think he's going to.
They scored 56 on them boys.
Yeah.
The Lions put a 56. I had a dream that it was bad.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. Cause like I said, that energy that's going to be in that stadium is going to be it's going to be hard for a lot of people to deal with. So that's why I say I pick Detroit to win the game, of course, but I think Tampa's going to play them close in the first half, and I think in the second half Detroit opens up and takes it away. But that's going to be exciting to see. Detroit playing San Francisco for the conference championship. That game is going to be a great game to watch. And of course, I honestly believe the Chiefs are going to beat the Bills because I just think the Pat Mahomes nemesis to Josh Allen is just too much for Josh. I still think Josh Allen is going to have a great game, but I just think Pat Mahomes is going to lead the team like he always does to victory. And then they're going to go up against Baltimore, man. And that's going to be so that the 2 semifinals are going to be very, very interesting, man. Because
I don't think nobody got nothing for Baltimore, man. That's just I'm calling them the Super Bowl winners. Heard it here first. Heard it here first.
I got you.
Baltimore
on the bench.
Baltimore Ravens gonna be holding up that trophy, holding up the Lombardi.
I got you. All right, man. So y'all comment down below. Let us know what y'all thought about all our takes when it comes to the NFL playoffs. With all the teams that's left, Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo. You got San Francisco scraped by with a win, and then you got, of course, Detroit Lions and Tampa Bay. One last question about football, man, before we go into basketball. Do you think the Philadelphia Eagles was one of the greatest collapses in a season you can remember?
In the season, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That I can remember.
Yeah. Because I've been watching football for a long time, and I can't recall a time where, like you say, a team went to Super Bowl and then came in, was playing subpar, like we all agree, playing subpar for 11 games, but still had a 10-1 record. And then all of a sudden, the last 7 games of their season, they won 1 game.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, then the implosion, as you can see on the sidelines between the players, that's why I would say, yeah, it's probably the greatest collapse I've ever seen from a Super Bowl favorite in my entire life of watching football. I've never seen no other team have that type of collapse.
No, it was bad.
Okay.
It was bad.
All right, man, let's transition to basketball for a brief moment before we get out of here, man. Who would you pick in the NBA right now? These 2 players. Would you say, hey man, if I got a choice between these 2, I'm picking them? Would you take Joker or would you take Embiid?
I gotta take
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I knew I was gonna get you with this one. I
gotta take Joker.
You gotta take Joker. Okay.
I gotta take Joker because man, because he's more of a playmaker, man.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing I get. Like Embiid is more defensive than the Joker is. Joker, be a cone sometimes.
Yeah.
Defense.
And Embiid, he's a dominant scorer. Yeah. I'll give him that. But I'm with you. That was my pick too. I picked Joker just because of his total impact of the game, with his playmaking, with his leadership, with his ability to score, his ability to pass. Every now and then he do have some glimpses where he do play a little defense, but we all know he's slow on his feet. But still, even with him being slow on his feet, no one ever dominates him in a way that
he's a big body down there. So
so he never gets put in a position where him on the floor hurts the team because this guy is just killing him. So yeah, defensively Embiid's better, but I feel like offensively, to me, it's a wash. Because they both can shoot the 3 ball. They both shoot good from free throw line. They both got good footwork. They both finish at the rim, the best in the league. So, but I think, like you just said, his playmaking ability, his ability to read the defense and make the right passes and trust his teammates is what puts Joker over Embiid.
How do you feel about like a person, like arguably the best person in the NBA, doesn't really care about playing basketball?
Yeah, that's
like
that just lets you know. That just lets you know the God-given abilities that he's been given.
But it's so awkward though.
I don't have to like a sport, and I can go in that sport and be the best in that sport. Versus the ones that actually do like it and do it more than I do. Like when I leave here, I'm going to watch horse races, man. Like I'm not like you talking about come to this press conference. I'm talking about this horse race I'm trying to watch. I'm trying to go back to my country and raise my horses and chill out with my family and drink beer. That's what I'm trying to do.
Bro, man, he had to go to the championship parade. Like,
yeah. He was mad, but then he said he came out and said after he went and had fun, he like, man, I'm glad I did go. But he would have rather been at home watching his horses. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he don't. But that's what I'm saying. That's what makes him so great is the fact that, man, I don't even have to really like something. He treats it like how me and you treat our job.
Yeah,
he treats like it's just a job I do. I'm good at it, but this is not my life. So yeah, I would be frustrated as a person that really is like if Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, was still alive, he'd be like, man, what the world? You ain't finna outdo me, and you don't even love it like I do. You're not gonna do that.
The funny thing about it is that like the people who guard him, like bro, he's busting my tail, bro. Every time,
every time.
I can't stop him, and he don't even like the game. Like I'm in the lab. I'm in the lab trying to guard him, and he over here just like.
I'm thinking about how I'm gonna kill him with this move, kill him with that move, how I'm gonna make sure he can't do nothing with me. And this man ain't thinking nothing about basketball and literally come in here and get up and down the floor with me. Shooting one-legged fadeaways, one-legged threes,
Hop
throwing the
step
ball from
threes
behind,
from half
throwing
court.
the ball from behind his head. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It just lets you know how good he is, man. That's why if I'm starting a franchise and I'm saying to myself, I need a big man that can play make and do all the other things that a guard can do. That's what makes Wemby gonna be so great, man, because he already have the offensive side and defensive side. Once he become more of a playmaker, he gonna be a slimmer Jokic. Is what he gonna be. He gonna be that same type of unguardable big that you can't do nothing with because he know how to make every play, make every pass, and make every shot, and make every you know what I'm saying, good decision. So and it must be nice to have that type of skill set, you know.
I'm worried about his size, man. That's it. I'm worried about his size. I feel like he's a baller. He's a hooper. He can't be stopped.
Yeah.
But even Giannis had to put some weight on. You know what I mean? Like
no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, he and you see what that weight has done for Giannis. It's made him unstoppable when he's on the court. I mean, he's unguardable. So yeah, I agree with you. He's gonna have to put the weight on, which we know that's coming. You don't want to throw a bunch of pounds on somebody that's not used to carrying it because you can break their body down a lot faster. So I think it's gonna be a slow, steady process. It's not gonna be that Zion Williamson where hey, you come back, you got 50, 60 pounds on you, but I think they're gonna gradually build him up just like they did with Giannis, because Giannis was the same build that Wemby is when he came into the league, and nobody even paid him no attention. But once he started actually putting on the mask and then started to really dominate, that's when you recognize it. So I think the same thing for Wemby is gonna happen too. So all right, man. My last question for you for basketball before we get out of here is 40 points the same in every arena?
No. No.
Oh.
Go put 40 in Madison Square Garden and see if it's the same as 40 in Dallas. It's not. It's not. We seen it. We seen it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
What's his name? The bald and red dude over there in Atlanta. Yeah, Trae Young came over there to Madison Square Garden in the playoffs.
Hey, hold on. Jug, I know Jug, he gonna catch that, but I want to hear you say it one more time. Did you say the bald and red dude?
Yeah, the bald and red dude over there in Atlanta.
Wow, man.
Oh, he came over there.
I've never heard. I've heard of Ice Tray. I've never heard of bald and red man. Oh my God.
Bro, he red and he got whatever his hair got going on, it looked like he balding. So him over there went over there and put up. Well, I don't even think it was 40. It was like 30 something. And Madison Square Garden was mad. It's not the same.
I agree with you, man. Like I say, that when I came up with this topic, I was like, yeah, I mean, 40 points is 40 points. Don't get me wrong. When you do it against an NBA player, absolutely, it's 40 points. But like you say, 40 points in Washington against the Washington Wizards versus 40 points in Boston. It's two different 40 points. 40 points in LA versus 40 points in Oklahoma City it don't hit the same. Or in Charlotte, it don't hit the same. Now if you do 40 on the Splash Brothers, yeah, you was hooping. You was hooping.
Are you though? Because if you put 40 on the Splash, them boys ain't playing no defense over there. Them boys ain't playing no defense, man. Both of them
yeah, but still though, you gotta think though, they not known for defense, but at the same time, they gonna put up points. So if you put up enough points to help your team win a game and basically outscore two guys, then that's doing work. That's doing a lot of work.
I say it'll be worth more before Clay's injuries. Because back then he was a two-way
player. He was two-way. Now he now he's like 1.5. Yeah, he's like 1.5 now. Yeah.
He is spot up. He a true definition of spot up.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I just wanted to get your opinion on that, man, so the people out there can hear. I don't think 40 points is the same in every arena either. Like I say, there's levels to everything. We all know that. So there's levels to that 40-point game, and a 40-point game, like you said, in the Garden is totally different than anywhere else. So I agree with you.
I'm a Dallas fan, but putting 40 points in Dallas, you just put 40 points in Dallas.
Yeah. I agree with you. So, but man, Tim, as always, bro, I want to thank you for coming on and helping me out with another phenomenal episode, bro. As always, I appreciate you for, coming through to the pod and blessing us with your presence and your knowledge too as well, man. And everybody out there, thank you again for watching. Make sure before you leave this stream, before you leave this episode, or if you're watching a reel or whatever you're doing to support us, make sure you like us, subscribe, share, comment, and follow us on all of our other social media as always. And, thank you guys for watching. And until the next time, we'll see you soon. Peace.